Welcome back to Aquarod. Today we're here to talk about underwater video lights like this one.
Take me to the streets so I can celebrate. Never knew a feeling better than today. It means to a beginning of a brighter day. Letting in the feeling, mending what we break.
I use a couple of 10,000 lumen big blue video lights similar to what Jonathan Bird uses. I just learned that from his video the other day. Because it is very important to bring lights to your dives in general and especially when you are recording. Why do you need underwater lights? The number one reason is because you lose light as you go down because the water is actually filtering out part of the light spectrum. So with that loss of light, then your camera is going to struggle to acquire the images because the exposure is going to be more difficult. However, that is not the entire story. The other part of the story is that you actually lose part of the light color as you go down, with a color red being the first one you lose, and then color orange, and then yellow, etc. So I'm going to show you that here. So as you descend, your footage is going to look blue because you're going to be losing part of the color spectrum and you're going to be left eventually with just blue. And also the other issue that you're going to have is the camera is going to struggle with the light and it's going to become a bit grainy. So if you have a monster like the A7S III that has incredible low light sensitivity, maybe that's not such a big issue and you can actually afford to not bring underwater lights to certain depths, maybe 10 meters you can film and you still have color and everything is great. However, if you are bringing a GoPro, people think they bring the GoPro will actually record something. But when you come back out and you look at your footage, it looks a bit compromised. So to say the least, you can look at my own footage from before when I didn't use lights. One of the reasons we really want to go underwater is because the colors are absolutely amazing. So one of the biggest pleasures in life is you go to a big coral garden like the one you have in Apo Island in Philippines, and that is just gorgeous. The colors are just something that you don't often see on land. Actually, you would probably have to go to a tulip field in the Netherlands or Victoria Gardens in Vancouver Island in order to see colors like that. So you have some of the most beautiful colors in the world, but you cannot see them because you don't have lights. So the solution to all of this problem is I carry two of these bad boys on my rig. So what do they do? So this 10,000 lumen light that I have here, 10,000 sounds like a lot, right? 10,000 lumens is a lot, and I have two of them, so it's 20,000. So it has a few settings that help you in case you are overpowered, which is the fear that a lot of people have when we start talking about the power of the lights. And also you are worried about scaring the animals. There's a few things you can do. So this light allows you to, has a 10,000 lumen setting, and then you have the second one will be a 5,000, and then it will have a 2,500 when you press 3 times. So they do come down in power. And the other wonderful thing that it does is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it becomes blue. And this blue is very important because this is how you capture bioluminescence. So there are creatures and there are corals that when exposed to blue light, they glow in an entirely different color to what you see during the day. So the blue light will bring that out. So that's why one of these lights with a bit of blue, some people like red also because it doesn't scare the animals, but a good light with blue and maybe red, it really will bring a difference on your night dives and your day dives and everything in between. So I really like carrying two of these. Now we can take a quick look at how I was filming Bryce, that's Bryce, the Megalodon, at the pool the other day, just to show you how I position my lights, how I approach, and what I do with them on my rig. We hope to show you how you record animals. In this case, well, there are no animals in the pool, but we brought our own animals, and we're gonna show you how Bryce looks with lights underwater. Is that right, Elias?
Yep.
All right. So we just found a megalodon at the bottom of the pool, and we are setting up to approach and film the megalodon. In this case, we are doing a side take in which I don't try to just shoot from above because those shots look really horrible. I find that you should really try to take some shots of the animal like they are in front of you, as if they were another person. So you can look at them in the eyes, you can approach from the front. Just try to be very careful not to scare the animal. And the buoyancy control here is very critical. So you see here that I'm really making a huge effort with my fins to keep level and try to keep the shot under control, which is not as easy as it sounds. In spite of all my efforts to stabilize the shot when I was taking it, my original footage is still a little bit shaky. So I was able to correct that in Premiere Pro by using the warp stabilizer effect, and that actually took care of the problem. The other thing that I did on my edit was to add a scene space slot that just has this more contrasty, brighter kind of look to it. Though I did overexpose here towards the end because my lights were a little bit too close to the subject at the end. As the final example of this video, I wanted you to see Ajix Dharma. He is a dive master in Bali, in the Tulamben area, and he is considered by many one of the best underwater photographers in the industry. So here, he has actually done something interesting, and we are only here to learn. I also learned with this. He's switched off the two lights on my rig, and he's actually decided to drop a light on the bottom that he was carrying this light on his the ring, and then he's lighting the subject with a small light from the side, and I assume he has done this to try to get a little bit of separation with the background, trying to get a darker background in the video. He is more of a photographer, so that's why he tends to like to film with very high f, so the aperture is very closed, and then he tries to normally get darker background. So I mean that I believe that comes from his background in photography, but his videos also look amazing. The other thing you can see is how he's actually using a tripod on the camera. He supported the camera at the bottom. He requested in particular that I gave him the housing being neutrally buoyant. So he wanted the camera to actually be heavy, sink at the bottom, and supported on a tripod, because the kind of shot that he is doing is basically impossible to do without the camera stabilized by physically putting it on the bottom or on a tripod. So yeah, with that we are signing off, and many more happy adventures to you, and see you soon.